Yo, welcome Tacticians. So patch 15.2 is live and I want to show you the Volibear comp that I have been playing since, because he got buffs to himself and his core edgelords, which makes him a perfect fit. And today we are going over exactly from which starting points you can play the comp, the different early game strategies, the unique positioning of this comp, as well as the best power-ups, augments and items. So let's not waste any time and jump right in. So first, we should understand when not to play the comp, as forcing in general is really bad in the current meta. So having lots of AP items after PvE means the comp is unplayable and you shouldn't go down the route. But don't worry, in case you get AP items later on, I have a version of the comp that can use AP items as well in the late game. But it's just not worth it to force with AP items. Your early board should consist out of Knar Jin to utilize the crazy early strength of snipers, and as the front line, your main tank will be Mundo, and your off tank, while not as important, can be Zag, Aatrox or any other juggernaut. Depending which you get 2-star first, Knar or Jin can be your AD item holders, and all tank items can be Brain AFK slammed on Mundo, the current best early game tank. Another opener would be finding edgelords right away, with Shen and Xayah, them also being your item holders. For synergy you will add Rel, Zintra and Ezreal, and your win streak potential is instantly there. This comp relies on getting best in slot items for Volibear. This means you will have to focus to complete Edge of Night first and then Infinity Edge and Striker's Flyer next in carousels. Sorry to interrupt, but short self-promotion is needed. Currently 92% of the people watching the videos are not subscribed to the channel, so let's make a deal. You watch this video all the way to the end, and if you learned something new, then you have to subscribe. Afterwards, you go for tank items, where your main prio is the Even Shroud, so you have the Sunder for your Volibear. The rest of the tank items can be flexed. For Zamira items, the only mandatory is red buff. As the comp otherwise uses no bows, this is the perfect item to get the healing reduction going without having to sacrifice item power. During your early game, you want to eco as much as you can to have the highest chance to find Volibear on your 4.1 or 4.2 rolldown. Hitting Volibear 1-star usually already stabilizes your board. If you got the best in slot items until then, and then based on game state you can decide to either eco for level 9 to make it easier to find Yone and Prom, or to roll above 33 gold to hit your Volibear 2-star. If your HP is already low, then please realize this is not a top 4 game anymore and roll down to stabilize as much as needed and play for a top 6 to min-max your point loss. Regarding the special positioning that you need for Volibear, you need to understand his attack, where it says when changing targets, immediately slam for 100% damage. And this you can do on his first attack if you have a front line with a gap, as you can see right here. And what happens in the game is Yasuo will then walk here. Volibear will also want to walk here, but Yasuo will get there first. So Volibear has to change his target, and as he actually does it, he will then jump into the backline. And this, if positioned properly, will give Volibear instant access to the enemy's backline. Regarding power-ups, you want to use your berries on Volibear first until you hit the best in slot serious slam. Then depending where your item strength is, you either try to get standalone or unstoppable on Mundo and later on Prom, or you try to get Stormbender or Shadow Clone on Zamira, because her jumping into the backline, same as the Storm, helps Volibear to get his resets and stuns off. If you hit Yone 2-stars with decent items, you should move the power up from Zamira onto him. His best in slot similar to Gangplank is Stretchy Arms, allowing him to be a massive threat while not being under the risk of heavy focus. Tiny Terror and Warming Up are also great, especially if you didn't find another Edge of Night for him. In case you find lots of AP items after you already committed, you can check out this variation, which so far helped me to utilize my items to max value in the comp, and it's only slightly weaker than the full AD version. Let's finish it off with the win conditions. You need to look out for to not only have a safe top 4 but win the lobby. And here we are. Mundo 3-star is currently such a menace tank that I am always keeping all natural extras and keep this win con open, especially if other Juggernaut players are in the lobby. I'm denying their win condition as well, and it's definitely worth the gold. Another win condition is the fast 9 and hitting Prom and Yone 2-star. That's why it's so important to always scout enemy spot strengths every round after 4.1, so you know if you should continue rolling or are safe. If your eco drops too low, this win con is over. That's also why I recommended to roll above 20 to 30 gold first as a rule of thumb. The comp is 10 times easier to play if you find a Lucador or Edgelord emblem in an augment or along the game, making it a safe top 4 if you don't giga low roll. Augments like Grand Slam are really powerful. And Tournament Titan, if you get it at a first augment in the win streak, is also extremely strong. Yeah guys, that was it with a short guide on the new Volibear comp. If you still have any questions, just leave them in the comments. As always, I will try to answer everything in less than 24 hours. Cheers and see you in the next one.